Hello my loves, I'm Ellie Frost, and on this channel we're talking about the multi-dimensional approach to rapidly and radically healing and transforming during and after narcissistic abuse. And this video is about understanding energy vampires, right? Which narcissists are the kingpins, they are the king energy vampires, and healing techniques, right, for empaths in particular. But if you don't identify as an empath, and I'll talk about what that is, then these techniques will still work for you. So an empath is someone who is very high on the empathetic scale. There's different levels of that too. So we're very sensitive to energy. We are very compassionate. Often we give people a lot of empathy. The challenge with being more empathetic is that we tend to project our empathy on others, right? And so like it's throughout the beginning of time, like the empath and the narcissist is a dynamic that often comes together. Why? Well, because empaths are going to project their empathy on the narcissist, and they while they're not fully healed, are going to be the chronic people pleasers. They're used to they're manipulating people for good intentions, right? They tend to be if they're not healed, they tend to be the people pleasers, the overgivers, right? The oversharers. I'm still one of those, that kind of thing. Open, very open. But if they're not healed and they've been trained to people please, that's actually a form of manipulation with good intentions to get people to like you. But people pleasing is toxic for yourself and for others. So we want to break that. Narcissists are master manipulators with bad intentions. They are destructive energies, and I'm going to get into that. And they want to hurt and destroy you, right? So have you ever been around an energy vampire? Have you ever had a discussion and felt totally drained? Have you gone into a room and just being around someone, you could feel your energy was being sucked out of you, right? Narcissists siphon your energy in the psychic realm. They are operating with a demonic entity of consciousness that we're calling narcissism. I'm going to explain. And you're their battery source, their target, if you're in a dynamic with them. So you will feel drained, you will feel confused, you will feel they'll gaslight you and distort your sense of reality. But all of that just keeps you in confusion and chaos. And the more traumatized and chaotic you are, the more energy you're basically giving them in the psychic realm. That's what feeds them. So to understand narcissism is crucial. This is not just a personality disorder. This is a spiritual sickness. They've made a spiritual choice to go to the dark side, right? They're not in a human blackout. They're conscious of what they're doing. They know it hurts you, right? They know what they're doing is destructive, right? They enjoy it. If you've seen the narcissistic smirk, right? There's a video on here on that. They actually are enjoying tormenting you. They enjoy to torment their victims, antagonize them, keep them ruminating, keep you questioning why things are the way they are, keep you wondering if things can change, which they never will with a narcissist, right? They're not interested in change, transformation, personal development and growth, right? So you've got to understand, this is not a personality trait. I've worked with many people, and the difference between narcissism and other personality disorders like autism or Asperger's, which they lack empathy if you've got that condition, is those people aren't trying to hurt you. They're not intentionally destructive. In fact, people with Asperger's and autism often learn how to be more empathetic, right? They are empathy impaired as part of their personality disorder, but they do what they can to try and be more social, and socially acceptable. Narcissists do not try and change their behavior. They try and get better at being a narcissist, right? If the narcissist, which I've seen, goes to therapy, they will try and learn they will, one, trick the therapist in thinking they're the victim or the hero, and two, they want to know how to be a better narcissist. Now, there are some YouTubers, and some of my clients have told me about them, that are narcissists themselves, and they're given great education. But when they're talking, some of the ideas that are being spread at the moment about empaths, I don't agree with, right? An empath is not addicted to a narcissist. You're just an easy prey, right? And you're more vulnerable to them. And so some of it has been saying that, or that somehow we need a narcissist for our spiritual awakening. You do not need a narcissist for your spiritual awakening. Please don't torture yourself and stay longer with a narcissist because you think it's doing you some good and you're kind of training, right? Narcissists get more destructive over time. They want to affect you. They want to torment you. They want to trigger you. They want your trauma. They want your pain, right? And it's a losing game. I made a video called "The Best Way to Win with a Narcissist is Not to Play." right? So you can choose your personal development and growth, which is what I teach, your spiritual awakening, your development, your growth, your soul purpose. You can choose all of that, and you do not need a narcissist to push you to a point where you have to have a spiritual awakening in order, because you have to evolve to survive, because you've got to get past all the trauma, right? So if you have been with a narcissist, this is a great time for a spiritual awakening. I have a program called Sovereign. It is, I mean, there's so much in there, but it's bite-sized so you can fit it into your life. There's energy clearings, activations, there's trainings. It is a fabulous community, right? If you can join Sovereign, don't wait. Like, get in that program as quickly as possible, especially if you're, you know, you've got some healing to do, because it is life-changing. And I also teach about manifestation. Manifestation is about being an energetic match to what we want in the universe, right? And trauma blocks our manifestation. It blocks our good. It blocks our abundance. It blocks the good opportunities. You know, so many of my clients, as soon as we break the trauma bonds, it's like, oh my gosh, all these great things, all these people are coming back in my life that I haven't spoken to, or I'm making like new opportunities. New things can come in, right, when we're in our right vibration, our vibration that is actually much more loving and, you know, much more attractive and magnetizing to our good. We get back into our hearts, back into our desires. So I do a lot of heart healing in Sovereign, right? So understanding what an energy vampire is. Someone that you know you're with one if you feel drained. Now, narcissists work in the realm of confusion, right? As all demons do, right? So it's like they want to keep you confused, and they want to keep you in your head using your logical brain. So, you know, you'll say, did you do this? And they'll tell a multitude of lies, but they're trying to keep you in your head. So one technique I want you to do and be aware of is to come down in your body. Just intentionally drop your energy, just intend to, into your body. If that's difficult for you, just for now, just put your awareness, for example, onto your right ear. See if you can feel your right ear. And now I want you to drop your awareness into your left big toe. See how you can move your awareness. And now come back into your head, drop into your body. So many of us have taught to numb out how we feel, ignore how we feel. But actually, the quickest way to detect an energy vampire is when we feel off in our body, right? Now, the logical mind, when we feel off about something, always wants to know why. Why am I feeling off, right? Now, if you stay around a toxic person for long enough, you're going to find out why. But actually, if we were much more intuitive and in touch with our intuition and our physical, the body has a lot of wisdom. The soul has a lot of wisdom when you're in touch with it and not trying to talk yourself out of things, because often we have a bad feeling about someone or something and we try and talk ourselves out of it because we don't know why, right? You'll find out why with a narcissist, so you're better off listening to the cues, right? But in our body, when someone feels off, that is a warning sign for us to stay away from that person. I say to my clients often, you know, I don't like bacon. I don't know why I don't like bacon. I don't need to know why. I just know if I eat it, I don't feel well, so I stay away from it, right? I just don't eat the bacon. I eat something else, right? If you have a really off feeling about someone, trust it. Your body is so wise. Your energy never lies. Energy never lies. So you've got to identify the energy vampires. You've got to stay in your body. Now, when we're chronic people pleasers, another technique you need to do right now is cut the people pleasing, right? Because we sacrifice ourselves, we betray ourselves, right? So another technique is to be true to yourself. Now, in order to do that, you've got to know what your values are. What are values? Values are principles that we really hold dear to our heart. Could be things like trust, integrity, authenticity, yeah? Communication, resolution in conflict, you know? Willingness to talk things through. I value healthy relationships. I value reciprocal relationships, not just one-sided, for example. And we've got to learn that if we're living outside our values, right, that is a huge problem. It's a huge problem. And again, a lot of the work in Sovereign goes through this in depth, values, standards and boundaries. But a technique is to look at where you are living outside your values in your life, right? Or around certain people. You know, those people are like to be energy vampires. Energy vampires tend to love gossip. They love talking about other people. They love bringing you down. They love bringing other people down. They tend to ignore your boundaries, especially if they're a narcissist, right? So you've got to stay true to you. Don't people please. Learn to say no thank you, right? Without justification or explanations. There's another technique. Learn to say no thank you without having to justify why, right? Because people that want to push you and manipulate you into things, they try and like make you feel awkward at just saying no. No is a full sentence in the universe. No, thank you, I'm busy. Busy can mean I'm busy being on my own. I'm busy with my own life, right? No, thank you. I have got a free PDF. If you subscribe to my mailing list, which is absolutely free to do, I'll put the link in the description. I send out emails every now and again, but I send out this PDF of diffusing statements, communication tools you can use around toxic people, energy vampires, to defuse the energy and get out of the situation, right? Sustaining your body is one technique. Stop the people pleasing. Being true to ourselves. Now, what is it? And true to our values, which means being true to who you are and what you want and need. Being able to communicate those things. Knowing that you matter. This is another technique, right? Being true to yourself and what you want and need. That's what my definition, my personal definition of authenticity is. It's not just being true to who I am, it's being true to what I want and need as well. I might need to go from this conversation, for example. People pleasing counts when you stay in a conversation, let someone drain you, when you know it's time to go, right? As soon as you feel drained and cornered and siphoned, I have to go now, I'm sorry. Exit, right? Most of us just don't know how to say no. So understand the connection with narcissism and dark entities. It's a destructive energy. It's an entity of consciousness, which is like a thought energy that they are all plugged into, which is why they all act in the same way. But it's a spiritual sickness. They've made a spiritual choice to go dark. People say to me, well, why would they do that? Power, control over people makes them feel good. People do get off on hurting people. I know that's not how we're wired. And if you identify, especially as an empath, you will not understand that because you're wired completely differently. Right? And again, that makes us kind of vulnerable to narcissists because it's beyond our imagination how they can be the way they are. But they are, and it is a demonic entity, right? So taking your energy back and taking up space, right? You have an aura, an energy field that's 6 feet outside of you. When you're in a room, especially if there's someone toxic there, take a deep breath and imagine your energy going out in a circle 6 feet up and around you. Up and around you. 6 feet. Push your energy out. Take up space. You matter. If you feel a lot of thoughts, and you know, sometimes we're feeling our own thoughts and sometimes we're feeling what other people are thinking and feeling. Empaths absorb energy, right? So we've got to get very clear on what's mine and what's theirs. Because if we're around someone, we can be absorbing their energy, right? So their pain, their hurt, their anger, their whatever. So you want to say no consent. This is a good move. This is a move you can do, right? In Eastern cultures, they understand breath, body, movement. I do a little bit of this in Sovereign. If you're ruminating, if you're finding you think you're being invaded on the thought level, like people are thinking about you and they're projecting energy on you, say no consent, and you can breathe through that. No consent in the psychic realm. Really important. Yeah. There's other things you can do. You can literally just wipe people's energy off. You just intend to. That's just why, you know, literally just having a bit of a wipe and crossing your arms and tapping your knees just puts your energy back. Your energy is a figure of 8. That just resets your energy system. There's a lot more of this in Sovereign, so please join it if you are ready, because honestly, we go so deep in there and you're so supported in there. You know, I support you through all this. But that's what I wanted to share with you. I hope you like this video. Thank you for being here. Please keep liking, subscribing and sharing. Lots of love, and I'll speak to you soon.